Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, today, I'm going to take you along with me. Probably going to do, since I'm out here and working, if you guys can join. Since I'm out here working, excuse you. Sorry, you guys. My son is in the background. Anyway, Trey, since I'm working out here, I'm going to probably tell you a story about me. Sit back and be quiet. So, let me see. The story time about I just don't want it toxic in me on my YouTube, so the story time about me being pregnant. And this is for teen moms out here. So my story started with me being in a relationship with my baby father, which was my high school sweetheart. I was 17 at the time and he was 18. Um, I lived in Columbia and he lived in Bowie, Maryland. Also, the fact is that I used to go to Bowie High School, then I left, and then we started a long distance relationship. We started chatting more. We started, texting. It took him at least, he had graduated by then. He was in 11th grade. I was in 10th grade at the time when we met. Um, it's a lot. So, he had graduated and I was in 12th grade at the time. Um, I started messing around with him, on our first date. And he was an amazing guy. Um, he was just the love of my life. And I fortunately got pregnant. At the time, I was 17. Yes, he had a car. I was driving around in his car, but I had to be home at a certain time. You know how that works with a Caribbean parent. You have to be home at a certain time. And now when you're to age, you can hang out, with your friends. So basically, we had sex, and randomly, I have periods that doesn't come every month. So I have very unbalanced period, really. And 1 month it was missing, and I was like, okay, well, maybe it's one of those months that I miss my period. And then the second month comes, because since I'm so irregular, like it comes probably first week, sometimes second week, third week, fourth week. I just randomly don't know when it's going to show up. So that what happened. The second month now, I thinking, oh well, if it didn't come the second week, I said, okay, it didn't come the second week. Maybe it come the first week, second week came, third week. I said it's maybe it's kind of coming on the fourth week of the month, which I usually it comes on the fourth week, and then it leans over to the next month. You know what? So whatever it is, I was like, okay, maybe it come the fourth week, and then that month passed, and I said, okay, I ain't had my period in 2 months now, so randomly I was in a dollar store with my baby father, and clearly I sat down and I was just feeling a little bit dizzy at the time. I didn't eat that day, and we were just shopping for like items, things for the household for my sister and brother, random thing like cleaning supplies and stuff. So I saw a pregnancy test. I say, pregnancy test. I kind of made a joke on it. I was like, what if I'm pregnant? And it was like a joke. And then he looked at me and he was like, you're not pregnant. And then when I was checking out, he stopped and he was like, maybe you are. Maybe you should take a pregnancy test. And the fact is that I looked at him and I was like, why would I take a pregnancy test? You told me clearly after we're done that you didn't do anything to me. So were you lying to me? He said, no, just take the pregnancy test. So me, as being a young child and young girl and a first boyfriend ever, forced relationship, I was like, okay, well, I'll take the pregnancy test. So I prolonged the test. I got home, I hid it under my bed. I was like, I prolonged it. 2 weeks came, and I said, you know what? Let me just take the test. So just to find out, because I was like, I know I ain't pregnant. So I took the test, and it came out positive. And I immediately just froze, and I was like, this ain't right. That I'm really not, because I really don't think I'm pregnant. I feel the same. I feel normal. And then I said, let me go back in the room and run and get another pregnancy test. So I took it. I took the other pregnancy test. It came out positive. Now, at this time, I'm feeling all the emotions, all like, what am I going to do? I can't take care of a baby. I don't have a job. I live with my mom. My mom's going to kill me. I'm following in her roots. So I picked up the phone and I called him. And basically he answered. He was working, I think but I don't think it was Toyota, Chevy at the time. He was working at Chevy, and basically what happened was I, I called him and I told him, hey, I need to see you. And he was like, why? Why? What's wrong? And I was like, um, I'm pregnant. And he said, oh, I'm so happy. And I literally stopped and I said, how can I be pregnant when you told me literally that you didn't do this to me? Because I didn't needed a child then. I didn't need it. Uh, I wasn't even finished high school. And he stopped and he looked at me and he was like, well, will you take care of it? I got you. And I said, okay, so can we find a time to tell my mom? And he said, yes, whenever you're ready. And I said, okay, whenever you come back over, we tell her. He came back over like 3 weeks later, and I was nudging him, hey, let's tell my mom. And he was like, no, I don't think it's time right now. And I said, okay. So I prolonged and I prolonged and I stopped. And I was like, okay, well, since I'm this so far out, I got a job at Ruby Tuesday. I started working. And then the fact is, I prolonged it so much that my mom didn't find out until I was 8 months pregnant. Now, she always asks me, are you pregnant, Indira? Are you pregnant, Indira? And I will always say, no, Mom, I'm not pregnant. No, Mom, I'm not pregnant. And I always had to prove her wrong, like, I'm not pregnant. And the fact is that I felt like one day I just felt like the baby turned and his head was facing down in my uterus, and it was so painful that, like, I told my mom, hey, I can't go to school today. I'm getting really bad period cramps. And she said, okay, well, stay home if you feel like that. So 3 days in a row, I stayed home. I missed half of my senior year in school, but like only the third quarter I did that, because that's when I started feeling it the most. But then first, second, I had passed those. The third, my grades dropped a little, but I still passed those. And then the fourth quarter, I passed that. And then, it was time for graduation and stuff. I'm still big pregnant. My mom still doesn't know at this time. And I walk across the stage pregnant. And I was so happy that the fact that I graduated, but then it hits me, yeah, I graduate, but I want to do, I wanted to be an OBGYN. I want to be all of these. I gotta stop now and think about my child, what's going to benefit my child. So I continue working. I saved and I saved and I saved and I saved. And then one day he sent my mom a text and said, hey, this is Cecil. I just want to let you know Indira's pregnant. So my mom came to pick me up that day. My brother wasn't working, and she looked at me, and she looked at me, and she handed me the phone, her phone, and I was like, okay, what's wrong? And then I looked down, and it was Cecil's number, and it says, I read the text, and it says, hey mom, Indira's pregnant. Now at the time, I was pissed off at him because he prolonged it so long that the fact is that it was kind of my fault that I should have just come clean as well. But I was mad at him because we were supposed to tell it together, because I didn't make this baby by myself, and clearly it was just hard, and I end up going to the doctors and stuff, get my prenatal vitamins, and also a month later I got a call from my ultrasound technicians saying, hey, we talked to the doctor, your OBGYN, I think it's time for you to come in so we can induce you. So I got induced. I already had bought the cribs, the bottles, the glass bottles. The only thing I ever forgot was the formula. And basically, I got a C-section. And basically, I was out for 3 months without a job. So basically, I had Kajai at January 28th at 5:05 in the morning. He was 5 pounds and 4 ounces when he came out, and when I left the hospital he was 5 pounds 5 ounces. He was very small. If y'all ever seen his father statured, he's a little bit smaller I'm taller than him. He's a little bit smaller. So he's a little bit. Then afterwards, I had Kidja. I stayed in the hospital for 3 days, like mandatory. Get to bond with my son and everything else. And you guys, let me tell you, I never had a connection with him. I feel like I never had a connection with my son when he was in my belly. But as soon as he came out of me and I touched his little hand and I just smelled his hair, you guys, I fell instantly in love with this boy. And to know that he had parents that loved each other and loved him, it was the best feeling ever. And it was hard being a teen mom. It's still hard for me, but I had to learn and grow up very quickly to be there and support him. It was no longer about me, that I had to keep our head afloat. And I did it by myself for 4 years. By myself. And the feeling to be a mother is beautiful, but also stressful. And I love you, little boy. And I just want you to know that I love you. So this is the end of the story time. How I had Kijai and how I got Kijai. So please like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell another friend that Indira is here. And if you ever need a friend to talk to, you're going to be my best friends. Yeah, I guess that's it. But this was raw, uncut, no filters. But you guys, thank you for watching this video. If you like my makeup today, I will make a makeup tutorial on this page. So, and also help me find a name to call you guys. I just don't want to call you my subscribers. I don't know. So help me find a name for you guys. I don't know. So that's it, you guys. Kijai, can you say bye? Kijai, can you say bye?
Bye.
Bye. See you guys next time. Peace.